It's that time of year when everyone, well, almost everyone, is dreaming of premiership success for their club come a Saturday, September 27th later this year. Welcome to the 2025 AFL Today Season Prediction Show. I'm your host, Alex Donnelly, and on my far right, your far left, if you're watching on YouTube, is someone who's not dreaming of premiership success. He just wants a final win. It's Essendon fan Marcus Bazzano. Welcome in, Marcus.
I may not be dreaming about a premiership, but I am dreaming about Kako and Caddy in that forward line. How good.
That's very fair.
I got introed first as well for once.
Yeah, we go on the far, and then in the middle, he's over the honourable losses. He wants results from his beloved North Melbourne. It's Lee McAllion. Hello, stats guy.
Yeah, let's go. Premiership 6. We were talking about premiership, so North 2025. Let's do it. North Ball. Nah, definitely.
AFLW show is coming back later this year. That's when the North Melbourne success will come.
I just want to win in like the first month, just to make me feel something. That'd be nice.
One win. You were talking up against the Dogs round one.
Well,
you reckon you're...
Yeah, Alex has got in my head with that. I'm a bit confident for some stupid reason. Yeah.
Remember when I said 2 years ago you were unbeatable in round one against West Coast, and what happened, stats guy? You won.
Yeah, the mighty power of West Coast.
I still have that photo on my phone from you with your scarf going,
Yeah. The amount of times I've sent my mates like pics after a game of just like, maybe after a few spicy kombuchas, but yeah.
6 times in the past 2 years, guys.
Yeah, not many times.
Anyway, as said, this is the season prediction show. So we've got your ladder predictions, final picks, award winners, your biggest surprises and flops, and everything else that you can think of here on the AFL Today Show. Now, make sure you are following the AFL Today Show on X, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. It's AFL Today AU, and I think it's Aussie Rules Today on Facebook.
Bang on.
And of course, on YouTube, just type in AFL Today. Everything will come up there. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notifications bell, because we'll be doing a bunch of footy content all season long.
Yes.
Now, stats guy, before we get into the season preview, let's rip into the news. This is your area.
All right.
You're the news guy. I'm just making it up as I go.
No worries. I'm happy to do that. I did write some of these in.
Yep.
First one off the list, because this is just really weird to me. Justin Longmuir's contract extension. So obviously the Freo coach, I am still confused.
The wording.
The wording of it. Do you know a bit more about this than I do, but it's a bit weird.
Yeah, so it's not really an extension because I think he was out of contract either this year or end of 2026. But basically, they've changed to like an employer type contract, which is like what we are on here, where basically they're like, yeah, performance review time. You're not up to snuff. We're making the coaching position redundant. Get out.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
It's basically reading between the lines as if Freo don't go well this year, they can get rid of Longmuir and not have to pay him out as much as they would if he was contracted to, say, the end of 2028. It's like, you get your 6 weeks and go away.
We're all big. You're big on Freo as well, Marcus? Like, if they don't go well, I reckon he's gone.
No, I don't think they're in the top 4, but if they don't make finals, he's in
I'm
a world of trouble.
Yeah, agreed on that one.
Yeah.
Another news. This is all Marcus wants to talk about. Kako, he was awesome. Isaac Kako is the second coming of Stephen Milne. Some say he's going to win the Coleman. Nah, I'll calm down. He'll probably say that. 4 goals in the preseason versus the Cats. Even producer Gerald's like, who's this little guy running around? Like, everyone's taking notice of Kako. And Essendon fans, have you bought his jersey yet?
I'm wondering if I can replace this jersey. Last time I was on the AFL show, stitch that up, put the number 10 on the back. Yeah, beautiful.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
He looked good.
Yeah, he did. It's February. Like I'm not getting carried away.
How much have you put on him for the Coleman?
$5,000.
Nice.
Of course, that is in Monopoly money and is not at all a real reflection of Marcus's betting activity.
No.
Paddy Dangerfield, though, stats guy.
Yeah, he's going to line up at full forward for a lot of the season, Chris Scott has said. To be fair, I don't trust a word that comes out of Chris Scott's mouth in preseason because he loves like saying, oh, this guy's going to play, and then he pulls him out, or this guy's going to play here. But Dangerfield last few seasons, looked a bit injured. Like a lot of older players just got to feel forward.
Was injured.
Was injured, and then even when he was playing. And I don't mind that. There was a few times in his career where he's been injured. He just goes floats
was it against Hawks?
Easter Monday,
didn't he?
Kick 6 when he was playing midfield for half the game, and then he went forward.
Yep.
I don't mind it. He's a big guy, but it'll just be interesting to see if he can kick like a couple of goals a game.
Yeah, they're missing a trick in the midfield though. Tom Atkins is the only big body mid.
Yeah, Bailey Smith
rolling in that.
like is a bit outside as well. Holmes, that's true.
Just stay out of Jez's way, Danger. Get out of his way.
No, Jezza will be up centre half
Just
forward.
stay out of Jez's way. It's Jez's 50 and
Just Pagan's paddock.
yeah, get out of his way.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
And then last one, I'm actually very excited for this because I love Jim Steins. There's a Jim Steins game announced, a Jim's game they're calling it, to honour the legend on St. Patrick's Day Eve, round 1. Melbourne versus Adelaide, 3:20 on a Sunday.
March 16th, so the day before St. Paddy's Day.
Can we get a Guinness at the G? That'd be nice. Imagine a pint of Guinness. That'd be awesome.
know someone who works for the MCC. I'll send an email.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. But
with all the power that we both have combined.
if the light beer is costing you $12, though, imagine a pint of Guinness.
Would you pay $15 for a pint of Guinness?
Absolutely. You'd already pay. I paid $20 at the G for it.
Absolutely.
You hate it, yeah.
Absolutely not.
But I love that they're doing this for Jim Stein.
Yeah.
Jim Stein should have like a game every week. He is a legend.
He's been announced as a legend at the Melbourne Football Club as well, so they're Hall of Fame. So
he's in the actual
richly deserved
Hall of Fame as well. He's obviously done a lot off the field. He was the last ruckman to win a Brownlow as well, which is pretty cool.
It'll never happen again.
Tristan Cherry will win a Brownlow.
No, he won't. Anyway,
and that's the news. There wasn't too much, but a bit of fun there. Yeah.
A lot going on there. So we'll rip into this. So we've got our thing here. We've got vibes, ladder predictions every which way. So we'll start off with the vibes because let's be honest, we're big on the vibes here on the AFL Today Show.
Absolutely.
And it's pretty obvious, I thought, who the biggest team this offseason has the vibes. And then they played a practice match against the Indigenous All-Stars. And that has been Fremantle, who are my big off-season vibes team. And you had the most vanilla person of all time go, yeah, we played pretty boring and didn't want to show them up. I mean, Justin, you looked pathetic and got run off your legs. If that's what Freo are going to serve up this year, you'll be out of a job come tax season.
But it's just an exhibition game. I'm not going to read too much into it. No one in their right mind, even Freo supporters, probably wanted them to win. Everyone wanted the Indigenous All-Stars to win.
I know, but you at least want to see a good performance.
Something.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were horrible.
That's your vibes?
Yeah, I've got vibes on Freo. I think they're set up to make a run for the top 4 this year for sure. But Stats Guy, go the vibes.
Other than their horrible home kit, the Gold Coast Suns. I'm going Gold Coast Suns, biggest off-season vibes. I don't know, just Dimmer just seems like a happy guy. He's got some medicine that helps him. I think he'd be a bit happier.
It's medicinal. It's definitely medicinal.
Medicinal.
It is
He's
medicinal.
a spokesperson for it. So.
Sorry, I probably shouldn't have gone there. But their social media, I think, has been really good. Dimmer's up and about. They've got fresh new long contracts. I think everyone just seems really happy out there. I don't think they're going to go that well, but they've just seemed really happy. And I love... So I hated their kits, so the vibes were a little bit down. But their new kits, they got that pink
that's a
and
gathering
black
kit.
one, and then they've got
Just make it your home kit.
Yeah.
Please.
we talked about it the other day, the captain's shot. All these cool kits, and then you got this red paint thing just in the corner. Like, come on. But other than that, I really like their social media, which helps the vibes. So
you know when Homer got the shotgun for Marge to do the makeup? It's kind of like that. The guy goes, he just bang. It's like doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work.
I don't know why, but for so long, 2 weeks now, I've been getting Daniel Rioli looking for mud crabs.
Yeah.
Getting tapeworms out of the sand at the beach on my TikTok for ages, and it's so fun.
There you go.
It's
So
just
that's
him
vibes.
fishing.
That's vibes.
Daniel Rioli's enjoying life. He's just got out of Richmond and it's a sun all year round on the Gold Coast.
Yeah, I like it.
Who are your vibes, Bazzano?
Similarly, for social media being funny, I'm going to go to the GBS Giants. They got the best social media team
absolutely.
in the competition. And I also think they're going to do very well this season. So my big off-season vibes is G-Dub.
Yeah. There was a few other reasons why they weren't, but the actual social media side is very good.
Yes.
And then we go from the vibes and then we go, who are we feeling good about? Just straight away, it's like this team, yep, I'm feeling good about their off-season, what they're going to do. So it's the opposite to the vibes. It's sort of what we've brought on from 2024 rolling into 2025. Who are we like, yep, that's them next year. Pretty easy. For me, it's Hawthorn. We saw how well they finished off last year. They were a kick away from making a preliminary final. They've brought in Tom Barras and Josh Battle.
Stars, yeah.
They've stars. They've shored up their defense. They've already shown that they can kick scores. So it's like, okay, if players like Ginnivan, Watson, Will Day, and a couple of others all around there improve again, they are top 4 finishers. Personally, I think they may just miss the top 4, but that is their next step of progression.
Yeah, I like that. The Hawks, I think their season's going to be a bit tougher, but I do agree that you're feeling good about them because they can't. I don't think they can go too far backwards. They're all young. They're on the rise, so that's not too bad. I'm feeling good about Geelong. I know a lot of people. That's not the most outlandish thing to say, but their off-season moves I think were really good. Their vibes. They've always got a bit of swagger. Like Bailey Smith's just rocking a headband. Jezza he's just very funny. If you follow anyone on social media, they just post weird photos of Jezza. Just everything about them just feels good. They feel up and about. They feel really fresh. A few older guys out, younger guys in. So I think I feel good about Geelong.
Okay.
I know a lot of people make fun of this signing, the Jack Martin one. On
I
a
don't
free.
think it's going to be that bad.
I think that's a very, very good bit of business.
Yeah.
Not giving up anything.
Yeah.
You just got to stay fit.
Which he never does, but he's a good player.
How do they keep doing it, Geelong? They keep getting some of the best players in the off-season.
Farms.
Do you want a piece of land?
Yeah. Cotton
Yes,
on.
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you want some free T-shirts? Got a guy.
Free T-shirts.
Got a guy. Who are you feeling good about, Marcus?
I think it's Collingwood. There's big talk. They kind of have to do well, don't they? Considering their average age.
Recruits.
Was it 26 or 27?
Yes.
Something like that.
No, 10 dudes over 30.
Yeah, and their accuracy, even I know it was against Richmond, but last
That
night,
was
how
nuts.
how nuts was that? I think they were 20 goals won at some point.
I watched 5 minutes and turned it off.
That one was a rush too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And
they're
I think Dan Houston is just going to add another little bit of element of halfback to worry about. If you keep, personally, I think keep Nick Dacos on the other halfback flank, and you got a couple of real weapons there. So
Right.
Collingwood are going to go deep.
On the flip side, who aren't we feeling good about? Like, this could be from... This isn't the bad vibes. This is just who we're not feeling good about.
I'll say bad vibes as well.
Well, the bad vibes team could have been GWS given, their off season.
True.
And then,
We don't wanna go
and then
there.
they signed Jake Stringer. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm feeling bad about the Saints. And I feel bad for the Saints because it feels like a constant punch down on them. But you have a look at that injury list already. With Dougal Howard out for a long period of time, you've got injury concerns around Nass, Sinclair,
King.
the Pooh's out. King today has been announced that he's having knee surgery. Rowan Marshall's been touch and go all preseason. Like,
They've still got Ross Lyon as a coach. So
I
don't
will
like Ross
say
Lyon.
their training centre is elite. It is a fantastic
Yeah, you've
setup
been
down
there,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, went down to RASA
FIW.
Park. It's fantastic. But yeah, don't feel good about their prospects this season. Given all these injuries, it's just not great.
Yeah, fair call. I'm going to go Port Adelaide. I wouldn't have said this if Butters didn't get injured a couple of days ago.
Yeah,
but he's
another
going
one
to
with knee surgery.
He's going to be out for at least a couple of weeks to start the season. You've got Marshall out for the whole year, so there's literally Todd Marshall. You've literally got probably just Georgiades that's going to be able to kick goals, and they
Willie!
Yeah. Oh, Willie will kick. I meant big forwards, but yes, I forgot about Willie. We love Willie on the show. Willie will kick a few goals, but then they just rely on their star players. Like unless Butters and Rosie have 30 and 2 goals, they very rarely win games. So I'm very worried about them because they're probably thinking, oh, it's Ken's last year. We got to do something for Ken.
He's not enough.
No, I think he is enough, but they're just the injuries and then their depth isn't there. So I'm worried about
Even
them.
their swingmen, Radigalia and Zerk Thatcher,
Yeah.
both out as
Yeah,
well.
so their
Yeah,
back line's
so-
cooked, their forward line's cooked, and then with Butters out, their midfield's a bit.
So let me ask you this, just both off the top of your heads, because obviously it's Butters, Horn, Francis, Rosie, any order for their top three. You can argue any which way, that's fine.
Yeah.
Who is their 4th and 5th best player?
Oh, you asked me this the other day.
Yeah, it's a good question.
That's what it drops off a
Because
lot.
before it was Dan Houston.
Yeah, I'd do a shout out Willem Drew. I really rate
Yeah,
him.
that's
true.
a good call.
Willie Rioli, if he
yeah.
can find some consistency.
Yeah.
Even Burgoyne's on the rise.
Yeah.
Burgoyne.
Oh, yeah, he was really good
He
last
played
year.
really good back into the year.
Yeah, good call.
Yep. And who aren't you feeling good about, Marcus?
Who aren't I feeling good about? Well, I mean, if you got Luke Beveridge as a coach, then,
Hey!
I think it's a shoo-in. The Western Bulldogs, similarly, a lot of injuries, way too many injuries, and long-term injuries as well to start the season.
And the vibes around Jamara aren't great.
The vibes around Jamara aren't great. Yeah, you got players like Jones, Treloar out for 8 to 10 weeks.
Johannesson.
Look, it's not looking great for the Dogs.
I think, was it Bailey, Dale, and Ed Richards are both racing to be fit for
Oh,
round
really?
one as well.
Ed Richards was, so they've both been great for him.
Yeah, it's not Riley Sanders, here we come.
Yeah.
Rises and sliders for 2024. So who's going to catapult up the ladder and who's going to fall down? I said I wasn't going to do it. I wasn't going to do it.
I
I'm not
reckon
gonna do it.
we
I'm
did
not gonna do
rises
it.
and sliders last year, and you've got exactly the same
No,
riser. Exactly the same
My
riser.
slider last year was the D's.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yeah, that's true.
Good call.
Oh, I can't believe I'm doing it, but it's the Gold Coast Suns.
Oh,
Let's go.
no.
I literally said this time last year, I'm never doing this again.
Yeah, because they don't win outside of Queensland.
I'm a truther.
The 20th parallel.
I'm a truther stats guy. I'm a Gold Coast truther.
These aren't predictions. We're just spoiling the season for you.
Yeah, we are.
We're spoiling the season.
This isn't a prediction. This is a spoiler. Gold Coast top 8, baby. They will rise up the ladder on the back of Jed Walter, on the back of Rioli,
Walter.
Johnny Noble, stupid sexy Flanders, Matt Rowell.
Friend of the show.
Ned Moyle, who's pushing Witsy for a spot as the number 1 ruck.
Big Mac, Andrew.
Big Mac Andrew, Sam Collins. I'm just going to name the whole team. Brody Uland. Let's go.
Johnny Noble, Dan Rioli.
I already said the weapon.
He said that.
Oh, he
Yeah,
said that.
John
Okay,
Noble
there
says
we go.
yes. No, they are set up. If
I don't know.
never again,
Yeah, if they-
Gerald, 2:58 p.m. on the 27th of February, Alex Donnelly said, never again if it doesn't happen this year.
Gerald just messaged me. He said, I don't care.
Shut that man up. Timestamp it, put it on socials.
Oh my God. There we go. My riser, not Gold Coast. Can I just say that? Nah. I'm going Fremantle is my main one. Obviously, everyone's talking about Fremantle.
Who said you could have two?
You got to pick one.
One.
Well,
Pick
one.
one.
All right. I was going to just have a stat that we always talk about.
What do you tell your girlfriend she's the main one and then the other one is?
Hey, don't.
It's all right.
Hey.
Pick one.
How did you know that? No. I'm just joking.
We love Mrs. Stats Lady here. We won't say her name and dox her, but Mrs. Stats Lady is a great lady.
About people's names. Anyway, we'll go Freo. Since 2014, at least one team outside the top 8 has entered the top 4 the next season.
That's a good stat.
Thank you.
Like
That's
that.
the one I wanted to bring up. So that's why I was going to say Fremantle and Collingwood, because I think they can both push into the top 4. And it usually happens where it's just at least one
Wait, so
team.
who came out of the top 8 to make the 4 last year? Because Sydney made the finals last year.
Hawks.
Hawthorn didn't make the top 4.
Hang on.
Gold
There was
Coast
someone
and Port.
I can't remember. Let me get back to you on that. But I think the riser is definitely Freo because they're going to come from just nowhere really and going to charge into the.
Because I know Collingwood did it the year before.
I literally went through it because I couldn't find
maybe.
GWS did it in 2023. The Swans did it in 2022.
Oh, Geelong missed finals.
Yes.
They did too.
And
the very rare.
And finished third.
After they missed. Yeah, good stats guy. I like it.
Thank you.
Marcus, go for it.
Collingwood. I can't believe none of you guys have mentioned this yet, but
I tried to.
They missed out on the finals last season.
Yeah.
And I've got them a banker for top 4.
Yeah, I agree.
Wow.
I agree.
Banker.
I love how this season there's so many different machinations where everyone has so many different ideas on different teams. Like, see, this.
Well,
is,
you're not all on the Collingwood train.
Nah, not at all.
Oh,
Which we'll get to later. So then we go to the slider, and this is interesting because later on we get to our like rundown of top 4s and everything else. This is where we're completely different. So my slider is the GWS Giants.
Oh, you just don't like them.
No, it's honestly not that. They went out in straight sets last year. They've lost Cumming, Perryman, and who's the other guy?
Nick Haynes.
I'm not worried about Nick Haynes. The other guy that went to Adelaide as well, Peatling.
There's
three decent squad players that they're going to miss out on, and they've brought in Jake Stringer. Jesse Hogan, can he kick 80 goals again in a season? Probably, but you're relying on Aaron Cadman to lift. Toby Green was awful last year. Stephen Cornelio has been injured for as long as you can remember. Now we've got Tom Green who's out for the first month as well. Briggsy was injured all last year. Sam Taylor has never played more than 16 games in a season. Well, he hasn't done it for the last 3 years. And then they had those debilitating finals losses where they should have won both of them. They found a way to lose. And then I know I don't really pay much attention to preseason. They got smashed by the Swans.
Yeah.
Like horrendously smashed by the Swans.
Hell,
I'm concerned that they've hit the tipping point and you're on the downhill.
How long can you stay up there though before?
That's what Alex is saying.
That's my thing.
I think they've got.
I'm saying the other way. I'm saying isn't it just a moment of time before they actually win the thing?
But they've had the chances to do it and they've proven that they can't do it.
Well, I think they got the best forward line in the competition.
Yeah,
and they've got the best defender in the competition.
Yep,
and
I think the best forward line.
And their
midfield's really good.
I reckon
as one are very solid as well.
A team in the West have the best forward line.
Who?
The other team in the
Fremantle.
West. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was thinking. I don't know why in my head I said Western Bulldogs. That's the West.
Yeah, that's fair.
Don't worry.
And speaking of, they're your slider stats, man.
Slider. My dad and brother will not be happy with this. They'll be watching.
Mark.
Yeah. Bulldogs. They're my big slider. From 6th, I think they're going to be well out of finals. They've obviously lost depth with like the likes of Caleb Daniel McRae. I know that they weren't in the team last year, but when you have all these injuries, you slot in Caleb Daniel with experience. You slot in McRae with experience. You slot in Bailey Smith, who still will be pretty good and really solid for Geelong. You take all of them out, and I don't know, I just don't really rate him. And then the other side, like you said, I don't rate Bevo anymore. I think he was really good at the start. He just seems like an old grunt now that's done.
Mate, he's going to be still coaching the Dogs when he's 80.
The year is 2063. No, so I think he was the perfect coach for the Western Bulldogs when he came on board.
Oh yeah, he won a flag.
Yeah, he's done that, but he was.
I almost wasn't born.
But what I mean, he was a great. He's a great people manager. Like he like got the group up and going and in a great headspace and all that. Yep. And now it's like kind of sick of hearing the same thing.
He just has excuses.
I don't think he's as good as a man manager as he man coach.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say that.
Man manager is the right word.
As he once was. But how long do you hold on? He won us a premiership.
Yeah.
Like he needs
it's 9 years.
He's bought himself some time.
Also, 9. So you're 9 years old, according to
almost.
It was so long.
You act like it sometimes.
You two was?
Yeah. And your slider, Marcus.
Well, me and Stats guy just swapped basically who we're looking forward to. I'm on Port Adelaide.
I agree.
Big sliders. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a tough year. The transition, the coaching. We've seen it hasn't worked at previous clubs.
Yeah.
It's worked once, technically twice. It's worked with Paul Roos to Longmire and then Roos to Goodwin.
Because Goodwin won a flag, but then Melbourne has fallen off a cliff.
Yeah, but it's still the transition of where Melbourne were to then where, like, I know they missed finals last year, but you take out last year, 2024, go back the previous 6 years, how they'd improved steadily every year. So, and then
I guess it did work for Hawthorn as well, and
it didn't work at Collingwood.
I'm just scarred when it happened with us, I guess.
Fair.
Carlton fans are also scarred as well.
Yeah.
All right. So speaking of that, we've talked about like all those scars and that. So there's the most pressure on a club and or a coach heading into 2025. So you can have a club as a whole. So Port Adelaide maybe because they absolutely need to win a prelim final or whatever. But for me, it's Justin Longmuir.
Yep.
They've won out and they've bought the players. They've got the players in. They've got this great forward line with the Miss, Tracy, and Shai Bolton.
That's pretty sexy.
That should be 120 to 140 goals at least.
Oh, yeah.
An average of 40 goals each. I think Tracy can kick 60. So you can get that up to 120 to 140. I think it was 43. But if they don't deliver, because you look at their midfield, Sarong, Brayshaw, Young, obviously they've got Luke Jackson in there, Darcy when he's back fit. Their defense is pretty strong. I think they're still one defender short.
Yeah, they're like a big because you got Luke. They've all got really classy foots like Jordan Clark, Luke Ryan.
Oh, God, I love Jordan.
But like they're not the best one-on-one. But like who was it? Pierce. He's getting a bit older now though. So
and a very handsome Bailey Banfield as well. But the most pressure is on Justin Longmuir if Freo do not deliver I'll say top 6. They need a home final.
I'm happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, we've talked enough about Bevo. I've got Bevo written in here. We'll go someone different. I'm actually going to go Vossi.
Oh,
okay. I'm going to go Voss. I think Carlton fans that I know that I speak to, they're getting a little bit sick of, getting there but not getting there.
Yep.
They could have easily missed out on the finals last season. They should have missed out on the finals last season.
That was lucky.
And if they don't make top 4 with the run that they've got, the fixture they've got this year, they play North Melbourne twice, I believe.
Yeah, probably.
I think they play West Coast twice.
Yep, they definitely play West Coast.
And they play the Bombers twice, which is almost 6 wins right
5
there.
wins probably. Yeah, at least. Because
so
could beat them.
if they don't make top 4, I reckon then I think Vossi might be.
But they've got a lot of injuries. Like I know it's
again, can't keep making excuses.
Again, you're looking at the fitness staff and the people around Vossi.
They've brought in a new fitness staff this season. Their new head of fitness has come in since October the 1st.
Which is ridiculous because the past 5-6 years they've had at least one key player go down with a long-term preseason injury, whether that's Zach Williams, Sam Doherty, Adam Chera.
That's true. That's true.
In fairness, can't help an Achilles tear.
But Michael Voss also saved a car thief.
So
at the coffee shop.
That means he's just a good citizen.
You should get an extra year for that, I reckon.
No, the good bloke clause is out, remember?
And he's got big guns. Like, imagine trying to tell Michael Voss you're out.
He can be the security guy to walk the new coach down the race when they go onto the ground.
Who have you got the pressure on, stats guy? Who are you putting the blowtorch to?
Because I talked him up last year, I'm sick of Adelaide. So now that I'm talking down Adelaide for a whole month.
That was the worst prediction I've ever heard.
It was. And that's why I'm here. I think I said this.
What was it again?
No, I'm not even going to go there. Adelaide was supposed to be good last year and they didn't. So I'm going Matthew Nicks. There's a lot of pressure on this man. They've had 0 finals in 5 years since he's been coach. They haven't progressed up the ladder. 2 years ago, they were 10th. That was their best. But all the other years were 14th, 15th, 14th, 15th, 12th. Like, you can't just stay in that little bubble when you've got a really good forward line, a really good midfield.
Also known as the St Kilda.
Yes.
Do they though?
Their forward line will be good this year. Well, it should be, I think. I think if they had a better coach, I think they crumble a lot at the end of games. Like when they didn't make finals that year because Sydney robbed them. And
that was the goal line,
No, I'm joking.
Also, they should have kicked straight against Collingwood.
They should have. But they always lose really close games. I think that's part of the coach's problem, and I think he needs to go. If they
don't, a mentality thing.
Not against us.
Like if they don't push, at least push. Yeah, not against us.
That was a great night.
If they don't push for finals or probably 8th, I think he's gone. So he's a lot of pressure on him.
He's gone then. That's
and also a lot of infighting at the club too. Like there was a power pull last year at the board as well. So a lot going on there.
Yeah.
Didn't they have an on-field scrap as well? A couple of their players.
Probably.
Was that last year maybe?
Nah, that's good. That's good.
I wouldn't. As long as you don't fight Thriller.
That's Hardman.
Thriller will eat you.
It's bringing Hardman into the AFL Today Show.
Big Riley Thrill Thought podcast. This one. All right, let's get to the ladder breakdown. This is one of the most important things here. So we'll talk here about your top 4/6. So like who can sneak? Who's your top 4 and then like another team or two that can sneak in? So I think we're all going to have one team guaranteed that's the same, and it's the Brisbane Lions.
Yep.
Correct?
Yep.
I think we've all got them in for obvious reasons. So my next team is Geelong, the Swans, and then I've got Hawthorn and Freo. So that's my top 5. I reckon they'll be settling in the top 4 this year.
Interesting.
I don't mind that. I don't know about the Hawks. I think the Hawks will be good. I just think they've got a really tough fixture compared to last year.
Who else have you got, and who would you subtract?
So you've
got Hawthorn out.
Hawthorn out. I've got Brisbane, Collingwood. I think Collingwood are going to be top 3, or top 2, I'm going to say, definitely. Freo and then GWS. They're in that sort of 4th to 5th sort of range, I think.
Yeah.
I think GWS can really push up. I had Carlton in there originally, and then since because I think they should be good, Carlton. They've got the list, but they've had all these injuries. So I've taken Carlton out and putting in GWS. I think same thing as what Marcus said. They're sort of at that pinnacle. They are still up there. I think you're saying they're going to drop off. I think it would be maybe after this year or the year after they'll drop off because they've still got good young guys. So I'm saying they're top 4. And then around the mark is Geelong and Sydney. Sydney, I'm just question marks about a new coach, coming off a grand final, things like that. So I'm putting them just outside the top 4. Same as Geelong. I think they could push for the top 4, but just outside.
Yep. Marcus, any additions, subtractions?
Just come back at the end of the season when this exact ladder is being on. I'm going in order: Brisbane, Collingwood, GWS in 3rd. I rate them highly, unlike you. And I've gone the Swans. Obviously, they've shown really good signs, and they're always there in abouts.
Yep.
And then fighting for that 4th spot.
Yep.
So 5th and 6th, I'm going to go Fremantle because they have to be there.
Yep.
And similarly, the Blues, they got a pretty easy fixture and they got to be there as well.
Yeah. All right. And then who's in the mix? Who's scrapping for those final spots? Who's going to miss out in heartbreaking circumstances? Because I'll be honest, my ladder had teams at 12 and 11 down to 10 and 13 at 13th. Like, so I was really
okay. I think same as
in
mine.
that bottom half of the ladder. So for mine, no order this. It's Carlton, Adelaide, Gold Coast Suns, Giants, Pies, Dogs, D's. That's that clump from 7th to 13th.
That's
going to be really
so
close.
harsh on GWS and Collingwood there, I reckon.
That's just,
how are GWS below Adelaide and Gold
I
Coast?
said no order.
He said no order. He said no
Yeah,
order.
I was just like, I've done that. Okay, I need to add in this, this, and this. It wasn't. There's no order in that. That's just the teams that have it. Because in fairness, I did my bottom teams after I did my top 4 to 6.
Fair enough.
So it's basically the makeup of that. Because I think there's teams who just won't fight for it, but then there's teams who it won't shock any of these teams. It will not shock me if any of them won the grand final. I would not
even in the top 12, not the D's, not the Dogs.
But if they all of a sudden,
Suns.
if they all of a sudden put it together, Clary and Petrarca have amazing seasons. Van Rooyen kick 60 goals. That won't shock me.
Maybe we'll kick a wall or something.
But if the Dogs somehow late in the season catapult up the ladder, it's not going to shock me. I'm not hot on the Pies, but again, a lot of people are, so it's not going to shock me if they're all fit. Same with the Giants. Thriller could have a season from one of the best seasons ever. The same with Carlton. The same with the Suns. None of it would be that's weird, but it wouldn't knock me over.
I think if the Suns won a final, it would knock me over. But I get what you're saying. They've got they've got good enough lists.
The talent.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
I'm going on that.
Yeah. I've got in my sort of 7th to 12th, I think pushing for 6th, Carlton. Then I've got Hawthorn. I think just the Hawks will just be at that bottom part of the 8. They'll definitely make it because I think they've got a really talented list. They just got a tough fixture. Then just outside the 8, I've got Bulldogs, Gold Coast, Port Adelaide, and Adelaide. I think like how you said, there's going to be a really close part of the ladder. That just outside of the 8, Bulldogs, Gold Coast, and Port, they're going to be really close, and I think it drops off. Because I think just say Port are just outside of the 8, they're going to be still well ahead of Adelaide because Adelaide are just going to be crap. So, yeah.
I like how Adelaide are going to be awesome this year because whatever stats guy says, they will do the opposite.
They'll win every showdown encounter, though.
Yeah, they win the showdowns.
They've won 4 of the last 5 showdowns.
Yeah. I actually wouldn't mind that happening. So hopefully they go
to
on.
a showdown?
Yeah.
Hell
sure
yes.
thing, son. Why'd you ask me?
No, it's just that general idea of we should go to a showdown. Well, we are coming to gather round. Can tell you that. We are going to be a gather round. Marcus, your finals contenders.
My finals contenders, similarly Stats Guy. I've got Hawthorn being the bottom part of that 8. They're good enough to make finals. We've seen that.
Yep.
They had an excellent run to the end of last season. They did play, I think, 7 of those 9 games were against the bottom 8, though. But they show that footy can stack up against the better teams as well. When it got down to finals football.
They just deleted the Dogs.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think Hawthorn will get in. I think Geelong will scrape in.
Oh, scrape.
Wow.
Yeah,
scrape in just. I think Shannon Neal's going to have a big year, I think.
I think he's
Seen him on TikTok, he's jacked.
He's a
massive.
big boy.
Yeah.
He's a big boy. And then I've got Gold Coast, Port Adelaide, the Western Bulldogs, and then Essendon being around that 12th to just outside the bottom 4.
Okay. And then obviously we all know what the bottom teams are. If you haven't already noticed it, you should have figured it out by now. I'm Bombers, North, Saints, West Coast, Richmond.
Bombers that low? Oh, wait, Saints below North?
Yep.
Wow. Go North.
Yep.
That's just not going to... I actually want that to happen. I don't know why I'm angry about it.
Yeah, why are you angry that I have
Just because I don't want to get my hopes up. I think it was like 2 years before I got this job. I used to go, oh yeah, we're going to be good again. And now we haven't had that for 3
You've
years.
been beaten into
So
submission.
until I see, actually, I just want to see back-to-back wins.
Yeah, if North don't
You
win,
won in round 1 and round 2 in 2023.
That's what I'm saying. That was
And then you
that
won.
was 2 years ago.
And then you didn't win until the last round of the year. The one game you didn't need to win.
Anyway, I don't mind that, to be fair. I don't mind that.
if North don't win 8 games, then
Nah, I
you
think
watch, mate,
7.
there's
I
no
think
hope.
7.
That's
They're
a bit.
going to fold.
I think that's a bit stiff for the bottom, 4 to include the Saints. But anyway, I'm going to go. My bottom 6 is Essendon, Melbourne, St Kilda, North Melbourne, West Coast, and Richmond. Very similar to last year. Other than Adelaide, I think was around the mark there as well.
Yep.
Just injuries, and then you've got North Melbourne, West Coast, and Richmond. I think are the clear still 3 worst teams.
Marcus.
Wait, so I've just seen that you haven't got Adelaide in your bottom 6. Were they in your? They
No,
were in your
Stats
7 to
guy
12.
just
No,
stats.
12
mate.
to 13th is what I put on the graphic.
Okay.
They're not very high up. They're
Yeah,
still,
okay.
Stats guy just pretending they
I
don't
worried for a
exist.
second.
And then they're going to probably win the flag, and I'll be like,
Jordan Dawson, let's go.
I put some money on the side on them.
My bottom 6, I got Melbourne, Adelaide, North Melbourne,
Oh,
St Kilda, West Coast, and Richmond to round out same as you.
Okay.
yeah.
So
Richmond
quick-
have to win the Water.
All right, so read out your top 12 in order. Just go through it. We don't need reasoning. Just go through it.
Oh, top 12.
Yeah.
Brisbane, Collingwood, GWS, Sydney, Freo, Blues, Hawthorn, Geelong. That's finals.
Yeah.
And then Gold Coast, Port, Dogs, Essendon.
Okay.
Ooh.
Stats guy, your final ladder. Just read it out.
I need to remember what I've changed
Okay,
here, but
I'll do
you go
mine
first.
then. All right,
Yeah.
so mine, this is what I did from the old AFL ladder predictor. Brisbane Lions, minor premiers, Geelong, Sydney, Hawthorn, Freo, Gold Coast, Carlton, Adelaide. There's your top 8. And then
Whoa. Adelaide, top 8.
I got Adelaide
Wait,
sneak.
you had Gold Coast
come
last week.
on.
I got Gold Coast 6th.
Throw him some hate. Throw him some hate.
Gold
Wait,
Coast and Adelaide in the.
We'll get to
Oh
it.
my God.
But also, in
Where'd Adelaide come from?
fairness,
Oh.
Carlton, Adelaide, GWS, Collingwood, all on the same wins.
Okay, so it could change per percentage.
By a percentage, yeah. So my bottom 8, GWS, Collingwood, Port, Dogs, Melbourne, Essendon, North, St Kilda, West Coast, and Richmond.
Wow.
That's my final ladder.
But also, what ladder predictor do you use? Because that's also
Squiggle.
important. Squiggle
Squiggle.
or AFL website?
Squiggle.
Not a sponsor, but
Use
thank you.
Squiggle. Yeah.
Squiggle's good.
So make sure, as Marcus just said, hit us up in the comments, hit us up on the social medias. If you think we've got it wrong, let us know your ladder positions. Hit us up in the comments, or you can DM us and yell at us on Instagram and TikTok. It's all good.
Yeah,
Stats guy, your ladder.
My ladder, quickly, just Brisbane, Collingwood, Fremantle, GWS, Sydney, Carlton, Geelong, Hawthorn in my top 8. And then it's really tricky just outside the top 8, but I'm going Dogs, Gold Coast, Port, and Adelaide to round out the top 12.
All right, your number 1 seed. Obviously, that doesn't have to be your minor premier, but we gave you imaginary dollars right now, or we had to have a coffee bet. Who is winning the grand final if it's played tomorrow?
I don't like coffee.
After what you've been saying, I feel ashamed to say this. I'm going GWS.
That's fine.
Oh, well,
But
you
that
should
that
go
was
with
GWS.
But that's what I mean. This is what this season. There's probably 12
I don't-
teams that
I
can
don't know.
realistically win.
You know how many times you'll disagree with Alex? Like every show.
I think once you get
I'm
to
used to it.
finals, it's.
Anything
I
can
know
happen.
statistically it's not anyone's game, but I think it's anyone's game once
Yep.
you get to finals.
Fair
right?
enough.
We've seen that.
GWS top,
and
though,
with
really?
the forward line, they don't have to finish first,
Okay.
but to win the premiership, if they got a forward line of Hogan, Cadman, Stringer,
I think it's good,
Toby
yeah.
Green,
Yeah.
and then the small blokes as well, like Darcy Jones,
Harvey Thomas.
who was the one who scored 190 in Supercoach
Whoa.
with the last round?
Can't
Brent Daniels.
Oh, Brent
Brent,
Daniels.
of
Yeah,
course,
he's really
yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, they have to be up there and abouts. They're going to outscore teams more often than they're going to concede more.
Yep.
I like it.
And stats guy, we're aligned. Brisbane.
Brisbane just
Yeah.
they get some of those injured players back. Obviously not Kitty Coleman. They've got
He'll be back in round 5.
They got this young guy, Levi Ashcroft, just another Ashcroft that's going to kill
Yeah.
it. Just they're so good, and then they get that home advantage. They hardly ever lose at home.
Yeah.
So and it's so hard to win up there. So Brisbane got to be for me.
Couple of other teams that you think like that it comes to it will win, but like it's like yes, like at the end of the year, one of these teams will have won it. For me, it's Geelong, Hawthorn, and Freo. They're the other 3 teams.
That can win the flag.
Yep.
Ooh,
I'm never going to say the Swans are going to win one ever again until they actually do it. I've been scarred.
Well, not for me. For my high up team that will not win it, I've got Geelong in that.
No, this is
that
who
list.
will who will win, not who won't.
Yeah, but I've got them in my won't.
Oh, okay.
Geelong.
Interesting.
I just don't think they'll do it.
Huh.
I haven't really been impressed. Like I look at Geelong and I'm like,
it's pretty.
You just
yeah,
well.
like,
They know they
You're
work
well.
well as a team.
They work well as a team.
That's why I like
they're
them.
all right in every area. They got a star or two in Jezza Cameron, Tom Stewart.
Yep.
But I just think in the midfield, do they have enough bull in them against the bigger clubs?
Okay.
And I don't know. I just don't think when they get to the better clubs, they'll win.
Who can win it, Stats Man?
Obviously, I said Brisbane. I think Collingwood will win it, and then I'm going to go Collingwood, GWS, and Geelong. I think Geelong are experienced, Collingwood experienced, GWS pretty experienced.
Now roll into a team that will make the finals, but will absolutely positively not win the grand final.
Sorry to do this, Alex, but Sydney.
It's fine.
They have a new coach. They what were they? The best team ever last year. They were top of the ladder.
I never once.
No, I never said you
that.
said that. I never said you said that. I just think they'll be scarred from past. Like if they make it again, I will put my whole house on them to lose a grand final.
Whoa. Mark McAllion, Karen, he does not have a house.
Sorry, my future house.
Thank you.
Yeah. Future house deposit.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking. Gamble responsibly, of course. But genuinely, I just think that I think they're going to have a really good regular season and then just crumble like later in the finals just because, I don't know, it's just the Sydney way at the moment.
It's our heritage.
So they will
mate.
not win.
As I just said, I'm never tipping him to win a grand final again until they actually do it. For me, it's GWS.
GWS, fair enough.
All right, hit us up on the socials. Who's your premiership top tip? Drop it in the comments. Tag us on X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Hit us up with your predictions as to who will and who won't win the grand final this year. And don't say North Melbourne because we know. Anyway.
That's pretty
Season individual awards. I love this because I've had a look at this and I was like, oh, we're all going to have Nick Dacos. No one's tipped Nick Dacos to win the Brownlow medal this year because I think it's fairly obvious. He's the favourite. He's currently the favourite with all the bookies. Anyway, my tip, I can't believe Stats Guy actually
I can't
copied
believe
me.
you've got the same thing. That's so boring.
Yeah.
No,
Come
but like
on, boys.
I think I really am keen on him because if I think Freo's going to be good, then who's going to be their best player, Alex?
Caleb Sarong.
Yeah.
All right, you can explain why.
All right, sure. I just think Freo, they're going to have a really successful year ahead. I think they're going to get a lot of inside 50s from Caleb Sarong. He's going to set up a lot of goals. He also had his career best goals last year it was just 11, but every year he's
got
gone
to
up.
kick 24, 25.
Nah, he's not going to kick that many, but if he kicks like, I'd say 18 to 20, that's like the mark of a Brownlow medalist where they go like Cripps was kicking a goal a game. If you kick a goal a game, it's just, I don't know if the umpires go, oh, I saw him kick a goal as well as get clearances. And I think he can do that this year because they're going to get a lot more of the ball. He's their best player, and if they're going to be top 4, he's going to get more votes. So I'm
Finished
go.
fourth with 28 votes last year.
And I know we're agreeing on it. I wasn't going to put him in, but I'm very strong on him. So why not?
Marcus.
It's time to break the chain
Sure,
of umpires not caring or giving anything. I was going to swear, giving a load of crap about Marcus Bontempelli.
Yeah.
But if the Dogs are going to be worse this year, how's he going to win it?
Because he's that good. He's
Gary
that
Ablett,
good.
Gary Ablett won it.
Yeah, but
Cripps were in his first season when he first won the Brownlow.
He's
He
gonna-
didn't make finals.
he's going to have that level of a season.
And he can do it. He's by far away the top 3 best players in the competition. He can swing the game in the midfield.
Yep, kicks goals.
And he's going to have to play majority of the
He
midfield.
had a
with the
career
injuries they
high
got.
goal tally last year and only got 19 votes.
How many goals did he get?
32.
Poor. That's good.
And
for
the
a
thing is,
midfielder.
he can go down in the forward half for a quarter and a bit, and he'll kick 4 or 5.
Yeah.
You talk about, I hate saying, oh, they deserve it. Marcus Bontempelli deserves a Brownlow medal.
He's carried the
I'm
Dogs.
afraid the window might have closed.
Does he
I know, but
need to bring back his long hair to get noticed a bit more?
He has to. Well, I don't want to look back in 20 years' time on Marcus Bontempelli, and you're like, oh, remember that bloke, how good he was?
Yeah.
But because he didn't win a Brownlow, no one's going to be talking like,
Nah, people will be talking about him, but I get what you're saying, yeah.
Western Bulldogs fans will talk about him
It's
forever.
like Chris Grant getting robbed of a Brownlow. That's a very old one, but
It's a niche one.
Yeah.
Was it? Oh no, Corey McKernan.
because he
got suspended.
but he shouldn't have been suspended. Anyway.
Coleman medal. I'm going to make Stats Guy happy here.
Oh, I got hope, but I don't think so, yeah.
Nick Larkey to win the Coleman.
Suva.
He had a massive season in 2023. Obviously, dipped a bit last year. I think teams sort of figured him out. The delivery into the
that's what I'm
forward
worried
line wasn't great last year, but you just have a look and go through all of his stat lines. If North Melbourne are going to be better, then Nick Larkey is going to be winning a Coleman medal. You just got to think it's going to happen. He can kick 80 goals. It's not going to surprise anyone.
He can.
And this is why I really like the signing of Jack Darling. I know you're not a big fan of it.
I agree that he will help. He'll help.
He would 100% help.
He's just a Gumby.
Went from 71 goals to 46 last year. He kicked 71 in a team that went 3-20. If you go
Wait, what did he kick last year?
He can kick
46.
3. He can kick 3 a game.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm
if
worried
you
about
win
because
6
last year he was so soft, and I actually was really disappointed with him last year. I know he's a forward,
Missing chances he normally would
He
take.
kicked
but he still didn't kick many
He
points.
kicked 46-14 last year, 71-24 the year before.
It's the most accurate kick almost ever, I think.
Yeah. So if he can get to the level of 2023 and North Melbourne wins 7 games, he's kicking 80 goals and he's winning the
7
Coleman.
games. Let's go. Yeah, I don't mind that.
Just got you all giddy.
Yeah, I'm like, 7 games. I haven't.
Yep.
That'd be our total for the
Go on.
last 3 years. All right, Coleman medal. I'm going Jezza. Obviously, he's won it before. I think in 2019. That was a while ago. He's been second in 2 of the last 3 years in the Coleman medal. He's always right up there.
You
Jezza.
just said he's going to be up the ground.
No, I said he's going to be centre forward. He's always centre forward, and he can kick goals from outside 50. He knows what he's doing. I think they're going to have more inside 50s with the likes of Bailey Smith. They've got Holmes, who's going to be in even better form, I think. No more Tomahawk. Obviously, he didn't play parts of the year, but that takes away a few goals. Shannon Neal is still young, so I don't think he's going to take too many goals off Jeremy Cameron. And yeah, I'm just excited to see Jezza is some celebrations, bring back the beer celebration or things like that. That'd be pretty cool. But genuinely think he can win the Coleman because they're going to be really good, and Jezza's one of their best players. So
Marcus.
I know it's a bit boring, but I'm going to go Jesse Hogan.
Yeah. You're on the GWS, the Orange Tsunami.
They're very good. And their forward line's very good.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
Kicked
addicted to TikTok. That's why he's on there.
he kicked 77 goals last year.
Yep.
God, he was good.
77-26 is good rating. And he kicked 50 the year before that as well. So
How old is he?
he's trugging along. I'll have a look now.
I'll look it up.
He's 29 now.
Okay.
He will be turning 30 throughout the season.
Okay.
It's just in his prime, mate. I think he wins it. He goes back to back. Especially it helps that Charlie Curno's out for 2 or 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very true.
That does.
Well, 1 or 2.
All right. The rising star, the young guns. You guys are very boring with your prediction.
Oh, it's because this is a one-man race.
It is?
Yep.
This isn't.
Yeah,
okay.
Isaac Kako.
No, you go first if you want.
Harvey
We're the same.
Harvey Langford.
Yeah, all right.
I'm massive on this kid. He has got a left peg from heaven. The delivery he's going to give to Jacob Van Rooyen this year. Bailey Fritsch is actually going to get on the end of a couple because he's going to be spinning around there. I'm massive on Harvey Langford. I think he is the best player in this draft.
Oh.
There's nothing better than a left footer as well.
Yeah. Mate, I go for the Sydney Swans.
There's
if
a
you
lot
are
of left
blonde
footers.
and have a left foot, I'm in love.
Yeah, I like that.
Big Braden Campbell season in 2025.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Find some of those down in Byron Bay.
yeah, exactly. At Bondi Beach. And just, Harvey Langford, big fan. Love what he did in his draft season. Let's go.
Yeah, you go first because I've stolen your thunder.
We've got the same
You
players.
go
It's
first.
Levi Ashcroft. I think a lot of people have the same.
Yeah.
If Will Ashcroft in 2 seasons can win a Norm Smith medal, and people are saying that Levi's 100% better than him,
Yeah, that's nuts.
then that's nuts. I don't know what we're going to expect from
What
him.
are they feeding them, the Ashcrofts?
So, jeez, Brisbane are going to be so good for years to come.
I know, they're going to be so good. I'm going Levi as well. I think he's the most AFL ready player in the draft. I know that's a very cliche saying, like,
That is
he's ready.
so
but he's
cliche.
just big. I think he can burst out of packs already. There's not many like young guys that can do that. Obviously, Lawler can do that. He's a big boy. Smiley's pretty big too. But
Yeah.
I think genuinely the size of him can burst through packs. He's got really good mentors. His dad and his brother played for the Lions as well. And he's just a ball magnet. He's going to get a lot of the ball. And I think it'd be good because he also won't get tagged. Like I know very rarely do
Neil
You got
McCluggage.
Neil McCluggage, his brother Will. You got so many guns in there that all the defenders are going to like, oh crap, we've got to stop a Brownlow medalist. Oh, I'm Levi Ashcroft. I'm going to get 20 touches out the back, and then bang, you'll be out of the way.
There's a lot of top prospects as well that are injured, which also helps with the rising star. Like Layla as well,
Yep.
who's injured. Smiley's got a knock.
Yeah, true.
I would have had Jagger Smith in here if he
Yeah,
didn't get
same.
injured.
Yeah.
We're just going to win it in 2026.
Yeah,
That's
maybe
true.
if he doesn't do another knee, but yeah.
Whoa!
didn't
What the hell, stats guy?
Hopefully he doesn't watch. I love him.
You hate an 18-year-old.
No, I love him. He's got the best name in the business, Jagger, and I actually.
Zippy Fish has the best name in the
Fish.
whole
Oh,
of
he's
the
not-
AFL.
Actually, I saw one today. Where's Wally?
No.
Wesley Wally. I think it was Dan Gorringe. I'm stealing something from him, but he literally said there's a guy in the waffle that's called Wes Wally,
Well,
and he might be in the AFL next year.
If Wes doesn't play in the AFL,
Wes
Zippy
Wally.
Fish still has the best name across the
I
AFL and
agree
the
with that.
AFLW.
Zippy Fish.
Big Zippy Fish podcast.
Not moving like Jagger anymore.
Yeah.
Is he?
Oh my god.
Damn it.
Oh, wow.
That's
Can we stop
not
it there?
good. Anyway, best recruit. I've gone left of field with who I think the best recruit's going to be
You love
this
this
season.
guy.
I do, because he's underrated. He's your bread and butter, gets
He
the
is.
job
I
done
really
every
like
week.
him.
And he's someone that will drive standards. Alex Neil Bullen.
Okay.
He's already been elevated into the leadership squad at the Adelaide Crows, having been there for 3 months. That just shows you how well he's rated within the club already.
Mm-hmm.
I think he is going to be a big miss for Melbourne this year that people who don't support Melbourne won't realise. And be like, what are they missing? And then D's fans are like, yeah, it's Alex Neil Bullen. Like,
Fair enough.
he's not your superstar, but he's your He'd be one of the first magnets on the board every week.
He's one of the best B graders in the competition.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like, he's a guy every week, is going to turn up, give absolutely everything. Some weeks he may give you a 10 out of 10, but he never goes lower than a 6. Every week you're getting consistent performances out of him. I think he's a great pickup for Adelaide.
He's back home. He's happier.
Yeah.
I think he'll be very good as well.
Yeah, you like his consistency. Talking about someone that doesn't have consistency, but maybe he'll have more for Freo is Shai Bolton. Okay. I think he's going to have a really good year. I think he's a downhill skier, but that's going to help him at Freo. I think Freo's going to have a really good year. He's going to get a lot of forward entries. When the Tigers last made the finals, so I'm predicting Freo are going to make the finals. When they last made the finals in 2022, he had 43 goals in that season and averaged 18 disposals. If he can get near that, then that's a perfect pickup for Freo. They need a few more goal kickers outside of Tracy, outside of a miss. Just a small guy because they obviously lost Schultz. Yep. So they need him to play that Schultz role, can go into the midfield a little bit. And he's better than Schultz. So, I think he's going to do really well and he's going to be the best recruit.
Marcus.
The only thing is, does he get time in the midfield?
He will.
That's what he wants.
Yeah. They'll throw him stuff. He'll get thrown.
I feel like he'll kick a lot of goals.
5 minutes of chaos in the midfield because he's electric. He's like Tom Papley, like, go get the ball.
Yeah, but is that enough? Is that what he wants, though?
I think he's
just happy being in WA.
Probably, yeah. If we're talking about the biggest difference between a player last season and a player this season,
this feels like a joke.
For me, 100% it's got to be Caleb.
Yes, I love Caleb.
It has to be Caleb Daniel.
Thought it was a hype
the man
joke.
with the big heart.
He was being played out of his best position at the Bulldogs under Bevo because he lost his head. Wasn't even getting a game sometimes. He was the emergency sub. But he was going to rack up a lot of the ball this year.
I'm excited for him, yeah.
And I feel like this frees up Sheasel as well a lot more to come into the midfield if he's needed, if he wants to. Same with McKercher.
I don't think he's even the best recruit North got in the off-season.
Luke Parker?
Yep.
I think no, Luke, like Caleb Daniel will still be good. I know he hasn't been good the last 2 seasons, but he is such an elite kick that is exactly what we need at North.
When
Luke Parker will be good for the mentor side.
When Luke Parker goes back with the flight, takes a grab and irons someone out and stands up straight away, everyone's going to be like, oh.
I just want Luke Parker to kick a match winner against the Swans.
Mate, that would break every Sydney Swans fan's heart.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm still sad about it. Because it's a player I never thought I'd see in another team's colours. He's 3 games away from 300.
That's the same feeling with me with Goldie playing at Essendon because I hate Essendon and I love.
I don't hate North. I don't hate North, so I'm happy. Like he got offered such a good contract, he had to take it. But I'm just like, this sucks.
Fair enough.
But anyway, hit us up on the socials. Who do you think takes out the Brownlow, the Coleman, the Rising Star, and even who is the best recruit? Hit us up. X, Instagram, or TikTok. AFL Today AU. All right, the big call for 2025. Stats guy.
Oh, geez. I'm a bit nervous reading these out. First one is, I think this is a big call. I don't know if you agree, but Will Day will be top 5 in the Brownlow. I've just thought about it more. Leo, who's on this show as well, social guy Leo, he's talking up Will Day and Supercoach. I think he's going to have a really good year. He'll be the Hawks' best player. Hopefully he stays fit. So that's probably my first big call. My next one. This one, I literally just thought about it now because he's been stiff not to make it. Brian Myers, All-Australian. I know people go, he's got a funny kicking action. He gets the most goal assists by an absolute mile in the league. I think he had in the 2 preseason games, the first preseason game, he had like 30-something, couple of goals and 5 goal assists. I reckon he's the perfect sort of half forward, small forward to jump in the All-Australian team. And he's a bit underappreciated, Graham Myers, just because he has a little funny kicking action. Yep. So I reckon he can be All-Australian. And then just Collingwood are going to win the flag. I just reckon that's going to happen.
Will Ashcroft will get more votes in the Brownlow than Lockie Neal.
Oh.
Wow.
I don't know about that. They love Lockie Neal. Lockie Neal could just high-five the umpire and they'll give him 3 votes.
It's why it's called the big call.
It's a time. Sometimes you just need to hand the baton over.
Hand the baton over, Lockie.
It's not happening until he retires.
Marcus.
Yes, well.
This is wild.
Hawthorn to start the season 1-5.
Jesus.
Which game do you have them winning? Because I have the Swans starting 1-2 or 0-3 and they play each other in opening round next week.
I've got Hawthorn's win against the Bombers in round 1.
Okay.
So they play Sydney away. So I've got that as a loss.
That's a coin flip.
They play the Dons at the G. That's a win. Then I've got Carlton at the G. I'm
50-50,
going to say a loss. GWS and Tassie. I'm going to go a loss.
Well, they win in Tassie.
So did GWS. GWS have been in Tassie before.
That's true.
And then Port at Adelaide Oval. And then they've got Easter. They got the Easter game against Geelong.
Jesus.
Easter Monday
that actually
game.
is a tough fixture. That's
a tough first 6, and they could easily be 1-5.
Yeah,
wow.
They can easily be 5-1.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's the way footy is.
Yeah.
And my other big call was North Melbourne to finish above St Kilda.
Let's go. Nah,
you'll finish 15th.
yeah. It might be like 15th or 16th, but it's an improvement.
That's all we want, North. It's improvement. All right, if you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you subscribe to AFL Today on YouTube. Follow us on X, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. AFL Today AU, Aussie Rules Today on Facebook, because we have a bunch of footy content coming all season long. And of course, get around us on the podcast app. Subscribe and star, like all of our shows as well. We've got Cricket Today, Champions Trophy going on at the moment. England hilariously bombing out overnight. Of course, AFLW Today will be back later this year. Around June, July, we'll be back. Hold all tickets for your horse racing and True Bloods. Get around at Mads and Deebs. If you're a Sydney Swan supporter, they have all your action. They interviewed Dean Cox last week. Of course, big thank you to Marcus for jumping on.
Thank you, guys.
Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you to Stats Guy.
Thank you.
Of course, producer Gerald behind the camera. Now, next week, we are back into the swing of things. All 3 shows. Midweek Madness on a Wednesday. We have an interview with a Sydney Swans player coming up on a Wednesday, and potentially Lockie McCurdy. So, Alex, get me on the show. I'm like, yes, you very tall, handsome man. On the Thursday show, the team show. Stats Guy in the hosting chair with Leo and Marcus.
Let's go.
The Cricket Today crew.
Cricket Today.
Taking over.
Reborn on the Thursday night.
No.
And then on Sunday night after opening round, myself, Stats Guy, and Leo will be back to wrap it all up. We'll catch you next week for the Midweek Madness on AFL Today for opening round.